I'm Tausha Calderella, and I am a school counselor here at Fisher Elementary. I have been working as a school counselor since 2004. I grew up just really worried about lots of things. I always took it on as my own, like it was something I wasn't good enough, I couldn't fix it. But I poured myself into school, and I poured myself into doing all the right things. But I, looking back, can see how I was doing it for the wrong reason. I was doing it to be good enough. Even though I was a Christian, even though I loved Jesus and I had him in my life and I could see God in different areas of my life working, I was so wrapped up in trying to prove that I was good enough. I was going into high school just really insecure. I had a lot of self-hate. I used to do self-harm. And I would tell myself I wasn't good enough. See, you're not good enough. I'd have to work harder. And then I went off to college and I got a degree in special ed. And then God, and he came in and he rescued me from all of these things. And I renewed my commitment to him, and I met my husband, and we got married, and we had Austin. And then we had Lucas, but during my pregnancy with Lucas, I started having all of these complications. When Lucas was 1 week old, I came back from his 1 week appointment. I was rear-ended on the guide in front of the cemetery. And I immediately started having blurred and doubled vision. And I had a hard time getting equilibrium and standing up and all the things. So my mother-in-law took me into the ER. I'll never forget the male nurse who came back after scans that they did when they heard my symptoms. And he told me I had a mass in my brain. We went in, they did a bunch of more scans, and they confirmed that I had a tumor. And during that time, I kept going, Lord, why? Why this? And just this, I know you have a reason for it, but I just don't understand. And just this worry and panic started to bubble up within me. And I started to worry that, what if I don't make it? I have a 1 week old baby and a 2-year-old at home. And I started writing goodbye letters to each of my family members and to my boys, and just not knowing if I was going to make it through, but knowing that if I didn't, it'd be okay, that God was going to take care of my family, and that if I did, it was going to be okay because he's going to take care of me. Friday comes along and I'm prepared to get my head half shaved, and actually I said, if you're going to shave half of my head, please shave the whole thing because I don't want to look uneven. And the nurses came and said my surgery was canceled. And we said, why? And they're like, didn't the doctor come and talk to you? And we said, no. And my friend's mom happened to be there, who was a nurse, and she said, there's something wrong with this. So she took all my scans down to Everett to her doctor, whose name was Dr. Wright. And I go, oh, Lord, you have such a good sense of humor. And he took all my scans to Swedish Hospital to Dr. Gregory Foltz, who then saw them and said, yep, nope, she shouldn't be out of a hospital because if her brain swells anymore, it will push against her brain stem and she will seizure and die. So we took our car and drove all the way down then to Swedish Hospital. I went in with such peace. I knew that it was going to be okay. I came out of surgery, and when we went to talk to the doctor, he said, well, I know you're Christian, so I'm going to say this because I'm a Christian too. You were healed by God. When we went in to remove the tumor that we had on image, it was gone. I started seeing a counselor, and she drew a picture of my tumor without knowing what it looked like. And she said, this is where God says you've been keeping your self-hate, and he's removed it. God has completely transformed my heart and my mind, and now I do things out of the heart of Jesus, not out of the heart of Tausha, trying to perform or prove herself to anybody. I do it because God's called me to. My ministry at Fisher, it's just a ministry of love. These kids come in the door and they come from all different kinds of family backgrounds, and I love them all. I want them to see my smile. I want them to feel like they can come and hug me and share with me the good and the bad and the ugly. So my ministry here is simply just to be Jesus with skin on for these kids. I want them to have a safe place. I want them to know that they are good enough just the way they are.